Are you an investor looking for premium market opportunities? Presenting premium and exclusive service for investors by Kalkine.
My grandfather used to tell me that even if you only have a single shilling to your name, there'll be no shortage of people trying to separate you and that shilling. He grew up in the Depression though, where a shilling was evidently hard to come by. He used to tell me how he would walk to school barefoot in the middle of winter because his family couldn't afford to buy boots for him. But my grandfather was no slouch. In order to combat frostbite on the end of his toes, he would actively seek out cows who had recently emptied their bowels. Then he would saunter on over to the fresh droppings and sink his feet into the warm excrement, thus staving off hypothermia for yet another day. Now that is good old-fashioned poverty. But it did instill within him a frugal philosophy when it came to money. Namely, everyone was out to take it off of you. You could perhaps chalk this up to generational paranoia, but you'd be wrong. Make no mistake, there are people living in 2022 whose sole existence is based upon separating you from your money in devious and outright criminal ways. In the last few years, this has been no less evident than in the world of cryptocurrency. Setting aside the scams where hackers break into crypto exchanges, often absconding with millions of dollars of investors' money, there's another scheme which fleeces countless naive investors almost on a weekly basis. Known as the pump and dump, the scheme is simple yet effective and relies upon inexperienced investors with hopes of getting rich overnight. Today, there are over 20,000 different crypto tokens. And while coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum's Ether are well known to those not even involved in the crypto space, there are a slew of tokens that are still being invented each month. A pump and dump, also known as a rug pull, is a scheme where the criminals posing as blockchain developers convince unsuspecting victims to sink money into a project by promising overnight riches. When enough people have sunk their money into the token, the culprits disappear with the funds, often without a trace. Last year, a token called Squid Game famously cheated thousands of investors out of millions of dollars. Despite only existing for a week, the token gained immediate popularity due to the public's infatuation with the Netflix series of the same name, whose violent story about a group of misfits competing in deadly games to win a large sum of money caught the imagination of people around the globe. To many, a Squid Game token seemed like a great idea, particularly given its so-called developers had promised an online NFT game which would be based on the bloodthirsty games depicted throughout the Netflix series. The problem was, the Squid Game token had absolutely zero connection to the show's production studio, or to Netflix itself. However, this didn't stop hopeful investors from sinking millions of dollars into the ruse, sending the price of the meme token from virtually zero to $2,800 in a matter of days. And then, even more swiftly than the rise of the token, its value plummeted back to zero in less than an hour. And the creators and the project's social media account? Nowhere to be found. All told, the token's creators took a total of $3.3 million from investors. While scams have plagued the crypto space, there have recently been attempts to make investing in digital coins more consumer-friendly. For instance, banking regulators in the United States are working to help financial institutions hold to digital assets, and the first exchange-traded fund tracking the Bitcoin futures market was also launched last October. Governmental intervention is no doubt a good thing when it comes to protecting would-be investors, but responsibility should ultimately fall upon the individual. To put it bluntly, crypto investors need to wisen up. If it quacks like a duck and looks like a duck, it's probably a duck. Or in the words of my grandfather, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Now, for every successful scam in the crypto space, there are hundreds that are easy to spot very early on, and thus there's no real issue for investors. So with that in mind, what's the worst attempted crypto scam that you've seen? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and share the video. For more content, you can subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon.